from the CBS News studio in New York City, where, Tom, you just had an exclusive conversation with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and we're eager to hear what he had to say.
Good evening, Emma. Thank you very much. Yeah, we covered that trial all week long, and now still wait for the verdict. This is an important case, as we've seen independent, third-party candidates make an impact before. Now, having RFK Jr. on the ballot could do the same, not just in New York, but beyond that as well. Here's a portion of our conversation today on the case. I believe your team had one of their main defenses that your intention to return after being in California. Why do you think that can hold up and that can factor into this verdict?
That's one of the key indicia of where you live. If you have multiple houses, the domicile is where do you intend to return to, even after a very prolonged outside stay. And I've lived outside of New York many, many times, but I've always claimed New York as my domicile because I always intend to return here. And, you know, I've had an agreement with my wife since we got married. I moved to California because she could not move. And when her acting career is done, she would come back with me to New York, and that she would do Broadway or whatever, but that we would move back into the town of Bedford. I've lived in Bedford, in that town, for 40 years. I've had 13 different residences in that town, some of them rental, some of them, you know, that I've owned, but that's where I want to be.
Are you concerned at all about a precedent that could be sent here depending on this verdict, depending on the other states, like you mentioned that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I listed New York in every state ballot,
yeah.
So if we lost this, we could technically be, you know, challenged in every other state. We're going to win this, but it may take us an appellate decision because, you know, sometimes, I think one of the issues that has been revealed recently is how politicized the courts are in New York. And so, but we're very confident that we win this on appeal and that we win it in a federal, we're filing a federal lawsuit this week, which I think will preempt this whole issue.
Now, that lawsuit's new information since he walked out yesterday. We'll keep you updated on when that verdict comes down. We sat down with him today for half an hour. So tune in Monday for the rest of this conversation. He had a strong response when it comes to being in Donald Trump's cabinet if the former president is elected. Also, many thoughts on the war in Ukraine and Israel. Also, Project 2025, a lot of which you might not have heard before. So stay tuned. For now, reporting live from CBS headquarters in New York City, Tom Eschen, CBS 6 News.